In this video, me and my friend are going to attempt to survive 400 days of hardcore Minecraft. If either of us die, the series is over. We've already survived 300 days. Can we survive 400? Stay tuned to the very end of the video to find out. We've already completed countless tasks. We've defeated the Wither. We've killed the Ender Dragon. We've done it at the same time. We defeated an ocean monument, built an automatic storage room, and much more. In today's video, we have three main goals. Number one is to make an automatic gold farm. Number two, make a Wither skeleton farm. And number three, kill 2 Wither bosses with just our shovels. If you guys do enjoy this video, consider subscribing. It's 100% free and you can always change your mind later. Also, smash that like button. Let's see if we can get 5,000 likes on today's video. Check out Jordan in the description below as well as my Discord server. Sit back and enjoy the video. On day 301, we were back. The very first thing I did was fly home and craft a beacon. I then placed it down at the tower outside our house, as this is where the first one originally was before we moved it to the automatic storage room. We now had 2 speed 2 beacons set up and it felt good. On day 302, I brewed some fire resistant potions and it was time to go straight to the nether. Foolishly, we tried blocking up all the lava in the hole that we've blown up with TNT in the previous episode, but there was just honestly so much it would have taken us probably the full 100 days. So we went round, mined all the ancient debris we could between days 303 and 304, but we were surrounded by an ocean of lava. So in the end, we gave up. On day 305, we were back with only 25 ancient debris. Day 306, we went to the Enderman XP farm to repair our tools. And between days 307 and 308, we went on a big trip to get a lot of sand. We returned on day 309 with 4 shulker boxes full of sand and our invents, and we put it away in the storage room. From the end of day 309 through to day 310, I AFK'd the creeper farm for more gunpowder. We wanted to get as much TNT as possible. Day 311 came around and I took all the gunpowder out of the chests and we had just over a row. I then took it to the storage room and then got the sand that we just collected and turned it all into TNT. We put it in a shulker box and we had just over a row. We then went straight back to the nether on day 312 and we searched for a biome that had less lava. Jordan then did all the mining while I placed the TNT, and a comment suggested I place them about 5 blocks apart, but somehow the TNT started setting off. Maybe this was because of lava or spreading fire, but it kept happening, and every time I placed it, more and more kept blowing up. There was definitely less lava, but there was also less ancient debris as we did it at a lower Y level. We came back with 22, and on day 314, I had a quick trip to the factory where I smelted it. Between days 315 and 317, I did some building and I made us a map room. Day 317, I did some final touches on the exterior. And yes, guys, I actually did my own building without Jordan doing it for me. Can we get a Let's Go Chazza comment down below? Because this building was going to be for our map room, obviously we needed space for a map. I didn't want a little map, I wanted something as big as possible. Whilst I did this, Jordan made another entrance to the back of our farms by the windmill so we could get in and out of our compound much easier. Day 318, I finished mining out the basement of the new map room building. Once I did this, I realized I needed more food, so I went and did some farming and then traded it all with the villagers. On day 319, I said hello to Waffle. In 500 days, we really need to get him a friend as he seems quite lonely, but he was more than happy when I gave him some bamboo. Whilst I said hello to Waffle, Jordan went out on a trip to get us some wood. Day 320, I started making a pumpkin and melon farm. We already had some, but they weren't very efficient. So I built out into the ocean and had enough for a stack of melons and a stack of pumpkins. Day 321, I bone mealed the side I just did, and on the opposite side, began making more. Towards the end of the day, I then made an entrance. I didn't want mobs to be able to get in and trample all over our crops. But as the sun came up on day 322, I started farming what had already grown, took it to the villagers, and started trading for even more emeralds. Then between days 323 and day 326, myself and Jordan got to work on an automatic bamboo farm. We then made a glass container for it, but we very quickly ran out of glass. So because we had some sand left over, we started smelting it in the factory. And on day 328, we finally got it done. Day 329, Jordan blocked off the outside. The spiders were getting underneath and blocking the minecarts. Between days 330 and 331, we took down the nearby village. Day 322, I ran around and lit up the area, but realized we had no coal left. So between days 333 and 336, Jordan went on the mission to get us some more coal. Whilst he did this, I ran back to the pumpkin and melon farm and kept farming as much as I could to get us more and more emeralds. Now I look back on it, we probably should have made an automatic one, but that's always something we could do in 500 days. Jordan then returned home on day 336 and he got us so much coal and redstone along with some diamonds. Day 337, I realized my bow was extremely low, so I took it to the XP farm and I tried repairing it. However, it wasn't repairable. So I farmed the Enderman, got a lot of XP and started enchanting bows. And to my surprise, I actually got some really good enchants. So I combined the best bows and I came up with a god bow. I then named it Oblivion, as this is what I'd be shooting all the mobs into. Day 338, we had some leftover leaves in a shulker box down at the XP farm, so I put them to good use and made a platform so that we could land on it and take off from it rather than going up the ladder and taking a long trip in and out of the end. And after this, between days 339 and 340, I started killing more Endermen, and on day 340, I finally got to level 100, because why not? Whilst I did this, Jordan spent more time AFK in the creeper farm as we were very low on fireworks and we needed gunpowder. Day 341, we had a new project in mind. The melon and pumpkin farm that I made was definitely not going to provide us enough emeralds to make a full beacon by the end of 400 days. So I had the idea of making an automatic crop farm using villagers. On day 344, we had no villagers. So we took a villager from our iron farm, brought in our mending trade villager from the villager trading hall, and began breeding them in the original villager breeding room. It didn't take them long to pop out their first baby, and we knew this was the start of a brand new empire. The good old mending villager had done us a favor again. Day 346, whilst we waited for the villagers to grow up, I made yet another row of pumpkin and melon farms. You could say I was really trying to get those emeralds by the end of the video. Day 347, I took a quick trip back to the villager breeding hall, and yet again we had a lot of villagers. Me and Jordan decided that this time we wouldn't take the villagers out and we'd leave at least 2 in so we could always breed them. Day 348, we made a roller coaster. No, I'm just kidding. We weren't doing this for fun. We needed a way of transporting the villagers, so we used the best thing possible, which was minecarts. And I may or may not have used this as a roller coaster because I wanted to test if it worked, and also I wanted to have a bit of fun. The railway was a success, so I began pushing villagers onto the railway track, and Jordan was waiting for them at the other end, waiting for them to fall into a hole. The next mission was taking them out of the hole and getting them into their own separate pods. And I also found this villager doing MLG 720 spins. Day 350, we put a glass covering on the roof. And on day 351, Jordan decorated the downstairs where we collect the loot. The villagers were already getting to work at a pretty good rate, and I was very happy with what we were getting out of it. On day 352, yeah, I was back again with my pumpkin and melons, but I then went and traded them all. I took all the carrots and potatoes that the villagers have gotten for us, and I ended up with over 1.5 stacks of emeralds. Day 353 then came around very quickly, and I crafted some compasses. I also needed leather, so I paid a long overdue visit to the cows in the barn, which made them all so happy. Definitely not killing almost all of them. I felt bad as there weren't many left, so I returned with some wheat and began breeding them. On day 354, I turned the wall of the map room from this to this and flew around filling up the maps. Whilst I did this, Jordan spent 2 days linking the bamboo farm to the factory so that the fuel would transport automatically. On day 355, I placed my first maps on the wall, and this is what it looked like. And on day 356, I completely forgot to take down the railways which transported the villagers, so this is what I did. On day 357, Jordan and I then did some more work on the map room, and I've got to say, this map looked really, really cool. Can you imagine what this thing will look like when we build loads more? On day 358, I realized that we needed to start getting tasks done. If we didn't start now, we'd never get them done before day 400. So I decided to go straight to the Nether, and right in front of me, as soon as I was there, were some magma blocks. I began mining them, and eventually on day 359, I returned home with an inventory full and a shulker box. While I did this, Jordan did something which was really important to us. Jordan finally got a new pair of boots. He had Frostwalker on them before, and it was just so irritating when we were trying to do things with water. So he crafted himself some new Netherite boots. Once he did this, and whilst I was still getting materials ready, Jordan then AFK'd the creeper farm once again. And while he did this, I was getting materials ready for the gold farm. One of the items we needed that we hadn't got yet was turtle eggs. So right near our house was a little shore, which we saw some turtles at. After only giving us 2, I then needed more, but then I had to wait a whole day before the turtles could breed again. This time, it did us nice. We got an extra 3 out of them. We now had everything we needed, so it jumped straight back through the Nether portal. In order to build this gold farm, best thing to do was to get on top of the Nether so nothing could interfere with us. We then started towering up on day 362. Between days 363 and 366, construction began on the automatic gold farm. Once the build was complete, I then AFK'd it from days 367 to 368, and I was completely blown away at the rates that this farm was giving us. There was so much gold, it was unreal. We would definitely be able to get a full gold beacon. I filled up a shulker box and began making my way back before finding another shulker box which only had some dirt in it, which I threw out. And I filled up 2 shulker boxes full of golden nuggets and my invent and made my way back home. In hindsight, I probably should have bought a crafting table, but the next time I visit, I'll be sure to take one. On day 470, I returned home and turned the golden nuggets into golden ingots. I then made some gold blocks, and we already got just about a stack. On day 371, Jordan went mining for coal and stumbled across a zombie spawner. On day 372, once again, I was back at the pumpkin and melon farm. You could say I got an addiction to emeralds. Whilst I did this, Jordan went mining for more coal and he found an enchanted golden apple, our first one of the series, and it came on day 372. He also found us a name tag, which was pretty cool. On the end of day 372, I renamed all of the name tags to 4 of the top comments on the previous video. Shout out to these guys for leaving comments that got a lot of likes. I then used these name tags on the villagers on day 373 to make sure they wouldn't despawn. If you want to be part of this series and have your name featured, then make sure you leave a comment down below or join my Discord server and you may just be one of the lucky ones. After I named the villagers, Jordan then got a lot of concrete. And I then went back to the Enderman XP farm to repair my tools. On day 374, I needed more materials. I needed more turtle eggs and Jordan went and got us a lot of wool. The turtles weren't being too generous and they kept swimming away, but I managed to lure them back onto the island that I originally got them to. And as the sun set, I finally got myself some more turtle eggs. On day 375, I'd finally finished collecting all of the materials we needed. And if you guys can guess what farm we're going to be building next, comment below. We hopped through to the Nether and spent a whole day traveling around in search of a Nether fortress. It didn't take long for me to find one, and the one I found was perfect because it was over lava. It was absolutely huge. I used the gold block to mark the center and began placing down hundreds of slabs. I started to get shot by blazes, and at the time I thought this was annoying, but you guys just wait until you see what happens next. Nothing would have been more annoying than dying to lava, but luckily I swam up fast and got myself to safety. I didn't take many hearts, but this could have been a close call. From days 377 to 378, we continued to slab the Nether fortress, and after using 2 full shulker boxes, I found myself traveling home on day 378 to make more. This project was a lot bigger than it looked, believe me. I then returned with 3 full shulker boxes full of slabs, and I also collected some more fireworks and food because we were going to be here for a while. So from days 380 to 386, we continued to slab the Nether fortress, and look at just how many mobs there are here, guys. This was insane. At one point, Jordan even got the recording of me getting rushed by loads of piglins, and my totem of undying saved me from being dead in the whole series. This was the closest call yet. We took all the mobs on from range with our bows, but we ended up having to retreat, and there were so many piglins after Jordan because he'd started hitting them. Luckily, they were easy to take out. Once we got chased by a herd of wither skeletons, that's when we needed to start to back up. Jordan then soaked up the damage whilst fighting all the mobs as I slabbed off the platforms that we hadn't yet done. Once we got to the final bit, there were so many wither skeletons and other mobs standing around. They all started running at us, but luckily there was a gap in the bridge and I was able to hit them off. Eventually, we'd finally done it at the end of day 386. However, as it turns day 387, we completely ran out of food. So whilst Jordan stood still, I flew back and got us some more food. I also grabbed myself another totem of undying. Between days 388 to 389, we built the Wither Skeleton Farm. Day 390 was our mission to get a piglin. I baited it into a little gap, took some damage, and ran out whilst Jordan blocked it in. After this, we then made a clear path where we need to trap it. I ran up, it chased me, and I pulled the trapdoor, which I thought would trap it in. I completely forgot that piglins are just a little bit taller in game. So I got rid of the trapdoor, Jordan became the bait, and he ran straight through, and when it was in position, I blocked him in. I then blocked up, and I gave it a name tag. The name tag that I gave this piglin was of the most active member on my Discord. If you want to be featured in my series, make sure you join my Discord down below. I always post updates there first. Once the villager was in place, I then AFK'd the Wither Skeleton Farm for a full day. But as you can see, there were literally none spawning, but we had no time to get that fixed as we had other things to do. This will be something we can fix very quickly in the 500 days episode. So on day 392, we returned home, and after fighting that many mobs, we managed to accumulate 8 Wither Skeleton Skulls. This was absolutely huge if we wanted to get more beacons, as we'd be able to fight 2 withers towards the end of the video and complete goal number 3. After placing them down, I then lured some chickens back to our base as we hadn't got any chickens yet. I wanted to have a chicken farm from the very get-go, but I completely forgot to do it, but this was my chance. I got 3 chickens into the hole, but the 4th one was being a bit rebellious, so I had to show him what was good. I then placed the chest down with some hoppers and mined the floor beneath the chickens. Every time they produced eggs now, it would go straight into the hoppers and straight into a chest so I could spawn more and more. Day 393, I missed it so much and I was getting withdrawal symptoms, so I went straight back to the melon and pumpkin farm. I promise guys, I don't actually like doing it that much, it's just that we needed emeralds really, really badly. After doing a lot of trading, I had over 2.5 stacks of emeralds. And between days 393 and 396, while I did this, Jordan worked on a brand new home for us. Our other one was really cool, but it was getting outdated, so Jordan decided to build us a brand new modern house. I have to say, Jordan did an absolutely incredible job of this. After doing some trading, I believed that I had enough emeralds to make a full emerald beacon. And after this, I AFK'd the gold farm for 2 days straight, getting as much gold as we possibly could. I made sure to bring a crafting table this time, and I turned all of the gold into blocks, and I got so much out of this. I definitely had enough just from this trip alone to get us a full gold beacon. So once I returned on day 397, I placed all the gold into the chests, and I did a little bit of interior design on day 398. Day 399, we had a lot of chickens, which meant that we had a lot of eggs. To be precise, we had over a shulker box full. Jordan then crafted us some golden apples as we prepared for battle, and I went and collected the wither skeleton skulls. We went straight into the end and we dug down below the portal home. And before we placed the withers, we threw all the eggs we had on us. We had a load of chickens surrounding us. We did this to use them for the wither skeleton farm, as we believed it could be better for us and give us a more productive farm. Once they'd blown up, they came straight for us. And instead of killing them with a sword or an axe, we wanted to kill them with our shovels. We kept swinging whilst we were in the tunnel with our shovels, and eventually we finally managed to kill one of the withers. However, the other one got out and started flying away, so we started using our bow on it, and then when it came down for the melee attacks, we were swinging at it with our shovels. Eventually, guys, we had done it. We killed both the withers using mostly our shovels, and we now had 2 nether stars. I then ran back down to where we spawned in the withers, but there was no wither roses. Maybe the second explosion blew them up, I don't know, or they despawned as we were killing them. I'm really not sure. But the main thing was we came back on day 400 with 2 nether stars, which meant that we could make 2 beacons, one using gold blocks and one using emeralds. To celebrate completing 400 days and doing all our tasks, we danced on the roof of our brand new home. We survived 400 days of hardcore Minecraft. If you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure you leave a like. And as I said before, if we hit a goal of 5,000, we will record 500 days.